Come the 24th of April, it's another half century for Sachin Tendulkar. It's his 50th birthday. Where amongst the greats does Sachin Tendulkar rank for you?
As far as where do I rank him, I've said forever, Sachin's technically the best batsman that I've ever seen, I think, and played with or against. Whatever plan that we came up with as a bowling group, he found a way to combat it. Whether it was in India, whether it was in Australia, there's the well documented 240. I think he got at the SCG against us one year where he didn't play a cover drive for the entire innings, but he'd been out cover driving a few games in a row leading into that. He went into the Test match saying, "I'm not going to play a cover drive in this game," and we were all like, "Yeah, if we bowl full and wide, of course you're going to play a cover drive." But he didn't. He wore us down, and he made a magnificent Test match double hundred. So no, he sits right up there, and it's hard to rank and judge players. Everyone's different. Everyone plays the game differently. Even sort of trying to compare players of, when Sachin and I played, which is, we've both been retired for sort of 10 years now, trying to compare the way we played the game to the way the modern guys are playing it, it's almost a bit of a different game now. So, but certainly through the generation that I played, he was technically the best player that I saw.
Everyone has one, but what, according to you, is Sachin's best shot?
He was short in stature, and you won't mind me saying that. He was able to sort of stand up on top of the bounce of the ball and punch it back down the ground off front foot or back foot. So I think the trademark things you think about with Sachin Tendulkar was just seeing the full face of that bat coming straight back down the line of the ball and straight back past the bowler. So I think that'd be his trademark for sure.
Now, this next question, I'm really glad I'm only the one asking it and not answering it. If you had to pick between Sachin and Virat, who would be your choice and why?
Geez, which one do I favour? I'm definitely going to see Virat through the IPL, so I might want to be nice to him. I think that's the point I was trying to make. Trying to compare, the times. And I know sort of Virat played a little bit in the back end of the time that Sachin played, but it is a bit of a different game now. There's different rules, for instance, around 50 over cricket. With less fielders outside the circle, 2 new balls. I think it makes it a lot easier now for batting than probably ever before. There's no doubt that bats have got better. Field restrictions and new balls is a big part of it as well. I mean, when Sachin was playing one day cricket, the ball at the end of a 50 over game was very hard to see. It was very soft. It was very hard to hit. It reverse swung. You don't see that at all in the modern 50 over game. So, look, I always like to judge the quality of players on their longevity in the game. I think that's the best way to judge players, because maintaining such a high level of excellence for so long is the hardest thing to do. Some players can come in and do it, for 3 or 4 years and look like the best players in the world, but the very, very best sustain it for long periods of time. And Sachin sustained it for, must have been 20 years at international level. To play 200 Test matches within itself is an unbelievable feat, regardless of how many runs you make, how many hundreds you make. To be physically good enough and have a skill set good enough to stand up and play 200 Test matches is amazing. So, Virat's got all that ahead of him just yet. He's an unbelievably good player. There's no doubt about that. He's got 70 odd international hundreds now. Sachin made 100, didn't he? So, yeah. Let's wait until. I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm not going to offend anyone here. I'm going to sit on the fence. And let's wait until Virat's career's over, and then I think it'll be a much fairer comparison.